Hello and welcome back to SG Car Mart Reviews. Today we have the Mazda 6, and if you think that this Mazda 6 sedan is very familiar, you've seen a lot of them on the road already, you are right, this car is actually very good. So good in fact that it has won the Family Sedan of the Year for the SG Car Mart Car of the Year Awards 5 times. So let's review this very good car. So the Mazda 6 is a very good looking car. You get LED daytime running lights and this honeycomb grille that was inspired by the Vision concept car of Mazda. I mean, 4 or 5 years ago when this first debuted, it looked very striking. Nowadays, this design is quite ubiquitous, but I must say Mazda's design is timeless because after 5 years, this is still a very good looking grille. Combined with the daytime running lights, I would say the Mazda 6 has a very strong road presence. And from the side, you can see that the Mazda 6 is a very beautiful looking car with all these curves. Mazda's design philosophy is called Kodo. It literally translates to heartbeat, but on their website they explain that it's supposed to fill something up with life and fill it up with soul. And I guess it's also because this car's color is soul red. I remember when I saw this color 4 or 5 years ago, I was very taken by it. It's a very beautiful color. And yeah, this car is very beautiful from the side and from the front. The Mazda 6 sedan is priced from $143,888 to $149,888. The 2-litre Skyactiv G engine produces 163 brake horsepower and 213 Nm of torque. The 6-speed Skyactiv drive transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 in 10.8 seconds. For more details on the Mazda 6 sedan or any other car, head on to sgcarmart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. So before we do the boot, if you notice there are 4 dots here. What they are actually radars. It actually helps you with blind spot monitoring, so when you're trying to switch lanes, this will actually detect vehicles in your blind spot and warn you. Also, it helps with rear cross traffic alert, so if you were reversing and suddenly a young punk in a PMD zooms past you, these radars will actually alert you. In the boot, we have 500 liters, and as you can see, we have stuffed a lot of things, luggage, a stroller, the anti-trolley, and a huge golf bag, all in this 500-liter boot. So it actually can fill a lot of things. There are also levers here to unlatch the rear seats for you to knock them down. Very good, very usable. Onto the rear seats. In the rear of the Mazda 6, I'm 1.8 meters tall. This is my comfortable driving position. Loads of knee room. There's a lot of foot adjustment space as well. As for headroom, I am almost touching the roof, but not touching it yet because of the nice sloping roofline design. Yeah, it doesn't feel claustrophobic. Nice big window here. There's also rear aircon vents, very good. And there are USB charging ports in the armrest itself, along with 2 cup holders. And more importantly, for the middle passenger, yes, you would sit slightly higher, so your middle passenger can't be 1.8 meters tall, but I must say there is enough width for the middle passenger to kind of travel comfortably in a short car ride. That is very impressive for the Mazda 6. Oh, there's also ISOFIX points naturally for car seats. Yes, all in all, I kind of like the rear seats. Onto the front seats. Before we talk about the cabin, I must say that this car has keyless entry like many cars, but what it has on top of keyless entry is walk-away lock. So you can walk away from the car and the car will auto-lock. That is something that you don't really find in cars at this price point, and it's actually a perk that you get from luxury sedans so that you won't have to worry that you forgot to lock your car. Onto the cabin, first impressions is that this car is very refined and everything feels very luxurious. You have soft touch materials all the way down here, here, and you have all this stitching. All this stitching really gives you the impression that this car is expensive and elegant and luxurious. And this particular cover for the cup holders, oh, it just feels so... It makes the car feel a lot more expensive. Yes. Anyway, onto the instrument cluster, you have a mix of digital and analog speedometer and rev counter, and a digital display to show you your fuel consumption, etc. Easy to understand, nothing too complex. You have a heads-up display there, which is nice and bright and legible. And I really like the steering wheel because of how it feels, and more importantly, its placement. Somehow Mazda has perfected the centering of the steering wheel. It's just, to me, it's dead center. Some cars, sometimes the steering wheel is a bit to the left or a bit to the right. Yeah, I like that Mazda has made it dead center. Infotainment, you get wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so that is very important. And there's also native navigation that integrates quite well with the heads-up display. I'll explain a bit more on that later. Nice aircon controls that feel nice and solid. I really like it. And physical knobs and buttons to control the air conditioning. I really like it. And there's something, some people find it a relic, but there is a CD player here. And actually it kind of makes sense in the Mazda 6 because the radio won't do justice to the Bose sound system. So if you want some high fidelity music, you can actually play your CDs, and this car has a very nice sound system that really fills in all the trebles and the mids and the bass. So yeah, very good. I like it. Nice gear shifter. It feels good and solid to the touch. In fact, this whole place feels very solidly put together. It really feels very expensive. You get also an auto hold button here, so you rest your foot at the traffic light. And a very nice drive mode selector here. You can go into sports straight away, or other modes. Yeah, I really like the cabin of this car, and when we talk about the seats are nice and comfortable, electronically adjusted. There are memory function also, and most importantly, lumbar support, so that you are nice and supported when you drive. Yeah, speaking of driving, let's see how this thing drives. Let's go. So what is it like driving the Mazda 6 sedan? Some figures first. Up front, you have a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine producing 163 brake horsepower and 213 Newton meters of torque. So what is it like to merge into traffic? It's actually pretty easy. Let's show you. Yeah, no drama, no nothing. Very responsive transmission. It's mated to a 6-speed torque converter transmission, and I must say it's way better than CVTs you usually find in Japanese brands. So the car is very peppy, it's very responsive when you need it to be. And I must say, even though it's torque converter, a lot of people will feel that torque converter transmissions are more petrol guzzling than CVTs. I'm actually returning a very respectable 14 kilometers per liter. So that's very good and efficient. And I must say, for executive sedan, you get a lot of comfort, you get a lot of refinement in this car, and this car is surprisingly affordable. It's between $130-ish to $140-ish thousand. That's unheard of. It's very affordable and it's a very good bang for your buck. The 2-liter engine in the Mazda 6 is the Skyactiv G, which Mazda claims reduces engine knocking at higher compressions. What this means for us lay people is that for the same amount of fuel, this engine actually produces more power. And basically what this means is that the car is more fuel efficient. Another aspect of the Skyactiv technology is its G-vectoring control. Again, it can sound quite complicated, but what it means is that the Mazda 6 adjusts itself for safer and more comfortable cornering and drive. When it comes to handling, Mazda has this philosophy called the Jinba Itai, which translates to man and horse as one. So, in ancient Japan, I believe there were archers on horseback, and to be able to shoot your bow and arrow on horseback, it means that you have to be extremely stable. And this is actually very evident in the Mazda 6 because taking corners, the car is very planted and there's no drama, and it's very comfortable around the bends. So yeah, that's what you're looking for in an executive sedan, something that is very stable and confidence inspiring. It's not there for the drama. So that's what I enjoy about the Mazda 6 sedan. It's actually very comfortable to lounge back in and then do your drive home after a long day in the office. That is something I really appreciate in the Mazda 6 sedan. Yeah, I could see myself driving this after I sell my car. Aside from how this car drives, there are some safety assistance features. There's blind spot monitoring, and also when you want to switch lanes and the car detects there's something in your blind spot, it'll give you a friendly beep. That is very, very useful. Also, there's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And what I really like about the Mazda 6 is the heads-up display. Displays not only your speed, but also the speed limit of the road you're on. And if you're using the in-car navigation system, the heads-up display will actually give you directions. That means if you need to turn right in the next 50 meters, there's actually an icon there with the right arrow and then the distance left and the name of the road that you're supposed to turn into. That is something I really, really like, and you don't really find in other cars at this price point. Very impressive. So as usual, we have will buy, won't buy, or go try the Mazda 6 sedan. And if you have been paying attention to the video, you would know that my answer is a will buy, because, well, at $145,000, this is actually the most affordable luxury sedan you can get. And for $145,000, it's not as if they are scrimping on what's inside. The interior cabin is refined, it's exquisite. I love the stitching. Everything is well put together, everything feels solid and robust. And as for the drive, you know how I explained about the Jinba E-Type, handling this car really is pretty solid and confidence inspiring. So this car is a pleasure to drive. It makes me feel like I spent good money. It feels luxurious. So yeah, why wouldn't I buy this car? It is a good value for money buy, and everything is great. The equipment levels are great. You get a Bose sound system. Need I say more? So, do you agree or disagree with my verdict? Let me know in the comment section below, and as usual, please like and subscribe to our channel and give us a follow on TikTok. Thank you for watching our review. I hope you liked it, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!